are live. Okay, today, wait for some people to join on TikTok. Let's go to get this all centered. So today I've been backtesting this all day. I thought I found a holy grail to trading, and on my journey to find a holy grail to trading, I realized that there is none. You do have to sit here and look at the 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15 minute. You go down a 1 minute time frame. You have to do this shit every day. Sad to say. However, I did find that if you do sit on the 15-minute chart and wait for the whole 30-minute yo, what up, Tay? Oh, this might be good for you, Tay. I feel like you can trade at 9:30, but it's technically 9:45. Wait for the first 15 minutes of market open to happen, and you will just have a better trade in the morning. Because usually 9:30 still is a good time frame because it does come up, sweep some liquidity, does something, but sometimes it trades a little scarier or like might fake you out or whatever. But if you sit on a 15-minute chart, you'll usually be able to do that. So I think I tweeted about it. Basically, I was back testing, and then I had like 20 winning trades in a row, and then I lost like 10 in a row. But it was basically you let 9:30 come into a fair value gap, PD array or whatever, and then you just trade as soon as 9:45 opens in the opposite direction. Especially if it's a hammer candle like this, you can just get in the buy, take it to the next liquidity point, or obviously. But you always still have to do a higher time frame analysis because there are some days where it immediately reverses on you. After a big full green candle and a big full, then you need to get in at the red candle because of the higher time frame. But I have to tell you, but like on this day, 9:30 was here. You could have got in right at 9:45 open. Stop loss above the high. Even just taking it to this low that most people took their trade off of for 1 to 2, or if you took it all the way down, for the 1 to 4 to the 4 hour low. So it just helps. You can still trade the regular way you trade, like looking at higher time frames, whatever. But just wait, let that first 15 minutes of the trade go by, and usually if there are any fake outs, you can avoid them. Obviously, there are days like this day last week where you got a nice entry before 10 o'clock, but then 10 o'clock still stopped you out. So that was just one you would have had to lose if you got in before 10 o'clock. So let's just look at that. Let's look at how the market plays out on the 15-minute chart. And how if you could just really trade off the 15-minute candle in general, obviously you wouldn't. Because you'd still do your analysis. Like, you'd still do all this analysis, and then you would know, like, hey, like, we're not going to, we're not going to do that. But let's see. We're already at the 9:30 candle, but it's not fully played out. Jeez, what the fuck? Jeez Louise. This has to be a glitch. There's no S0 candle. Unless there was news at 9:30. This candle just went all the way down, swept liquidity, and came back up. There's no S0 candle. December 22nd. Okay, well, this is obviously almost the holiday, so we probably even shouldn't be trading in December. I've been backtesting on my own, so that's why we might not be at the same place every day. But you see how 9:30, 9:45 closed. Let's see if there's another liquidity point somewhere we could target. We're already above this one. I don't know why my chart is doing this. There's some equal highs up here. I don't know if we're going that far. But if not, I would just suggest doing a 1 to 2 anyway. I wasn't even marking. I was just marking liquidity because there's some days where we're running up. Obviously, we're going to the next one. That's like right here, but stop loss still, how you would have it. Some of these trades obviously would be very tiny. Some of them will be very big. Up to you. This could be wrong. This is just doing it on the 15-minute chart. Now, I don't agree doing just 15-minute. Maybe you go down to the 3 and get a better entry or something. Maybe you still look, but it's not as crazy. Okay, boom. This one was wrong. But when I was back testing it earlier, it was hitting every time, and that's why I realized like you have to have your higher time frame bias. This gave we swept liquidity in this candle, which is also why too I've learned after backtesting this for 40 trades, you can wait. You don't need to get in right at the 15-minute. You see what I'm saying? You don't need to get in right at 9:45 because you can still wait for it to play out in this little range and then see where it goes. So let's look at this on the 3-minute chart. So the 10 a.m. candle is, 9:45 is here. 9:45 open was here. So you could have waited a little bit too and wait for maybe like a full candle close above or something. And then once you got this candle wick down to the downside, you could have waited for a market structure shift below here and then got into the chart. So you can go on the 3-minute and execute, but usually if you wait for like your you wait that 15 minutes, you can get a better entry without getting faked out. Because again, if you wanted, this 9:30 trade up, you could have got it if you wanted it. But some days, 9:30 trade's crazy. And then let's see if you get a nice push, continue down, or no, if we want to go higher or lower, we'll see. This is noon. Yeah. And I've also noticed I do like trading at 10 o'clock still. 10 o'clock reversal, but it's not that great of a trade. But I've noticed that like 9:45, 9:50. This is still technically a 10 o'clock reversal actually, because this is 10 o'clock here actually. So this is what I'm talking about, how 10 o'clock can stop you out and go your way if you got in somewhere down here off this 9:30 candle. But we wouldn't sit on the 3-minute, because see how this 3-minute candle is this 30-minute candle is a nice hammer. This could fake you out. This is a hammer for like, oh, we're going down, let's get some sells. And we've been going down on sells, and we swept this buy side liquidity. That was like, oh, for sure we want some sells. And then it winds up running up, taking you out, and then going down. So if you wait those first 15 minutes, you can get an earlier trade on the 10 a.m. trade, and then you can get a better, not faked out on the 9:30 trade, but you're not catching it late. Obviously, most of the time, 10 a.m. you still get a nice run, like I said, so it doesn't really matter to get in before. But I just want to back testing what happens if you get in at 9:45. Like what happens? So let's continue to the next day. This day was a loss, obviously. And this is not how I trade. I just back tested this today. I just saw it on the chart. But price action just really moves, so you really have to just trade what you trade. You would think this wick would have sent us up anyway, but it did not. As you can see, it sent us down. And that happens sometimes. This is also December, so I wish I could jump. Let's just keep jumping till like January of 2023, even though we did 2023 already. It keeps saying Tuesday, December 2022, even though we keep saying next New York session. Oh, the year. I'm an idiot. December 7th, 2022. I'm like, why does it keep saying 22? We keep moving. My bad. We can keep trading. I traded in December, but like the week of Christmas, you don't. All right, back to the 15-minute, not the 3. We've already came down a lot. Look at the hour. You still do your analysis the same way. We already swept liquidity. We already inversed this hourly gap. We might come back down and tap it maybe. Target looks like we're going up to these London highs or Asian highs. And there's a gap way up here on the 1 hour. You still do your analysis the same way, even if you don't take the trade up that high. This is the 15-minute chart, so let's just see. Okay, sweep. And then since this is a nice hammer, I feel like we would still be going up. Like, trust your bias, but at the time I really was just doing liquidity to liquidity like this. 1 to 2. Again, I don't trade like this. I'm just trying something. That's the good thing about backtesting. You can just try a bunch of random ass things. And if they don't work, or they work, you know. Yeah, December is just trading not. They always say that though. December doesn't have a lot of volatility, as you can see. I traded really good in December last year though. I don't know. Maybe I was catching small trades, but yeah, we just traded sideways. It did stop us out, but it didn't really go to our take profit, or you know, it didn't stop us out. But if you had your stop loss at the high, you know, for 1.5, we've been sitting in this trade all day. So maybe I can go, I wish I can go to like next month, but I guess I can't. But it's a good practice, because now you know December price action is not the best. That's probably why the strategy started acting up, because December happened. But again, 15-minute chart, hour chart, we're kind of going up, still to the same little gap, just slowly going upwards. There's not a 15-minute gap. There's one here that we've already respected a few times, so it might come back down into it. All right, long candle for 9:30. Again, this is what back testing is for. I'm not saying this is how I trade. It was working earlier, it's not working now. This is why I made a video about this. Boom, I made a video. This is what I was talking about, how your bias will tell you like if you should be getting in bias at this for a big candle like that, because we said we were going up to this gap. It's not always just trading off of the 9:30 candle. It's like looking at your bias. And now that I'm looking at it, we did take out this liquidity here at 9:30, and then do we keep going up to that gap? We do. Boom. So yeah, I even said that, so I don't even know why I took a sell. But that's why nothing's 100%, because it's how you trade it. But you see how you really could just let the 9:30 candle play out, trade 9:45, and it'll give you a nice trade. Now, there is no holy grail though. I learned that today by doing this. But if you did take this trade with your lovely tight stop loss below the low, this is actually like a turtle soup trade. A 1 to 18 RR. If you could have took it. But obviously don't trade this way. I just saw this today. But I mean, it's not a bad strategy, as you can see. You just have to, again, have your bias still. That's going to help you. If your bias is wrong most of the time, then, you know, that's not going to be great. But yeah, we did sweep these London lows, and then we turned up. And again, you don't, I should practice actually that. Not getting in right at 15-minute. Go down to the 3-minute or the 1 minute. And then, you know, wait for inverse value gap. So now your entry's here and you wait for confirmation. That's what you want. Something like that. That's really the trade. You know, you don't just sit on the 15-minute and trade the 15-minute. Obviously you could have, but you could have waited on the lower time frame for a real confirmation and then get in. But basically, it's just not getting in at 9:30 for when it trades crazy. However, 9:30 candle usually is a nice candle. It sweeps something like this and then immediately reverses a lot of the time. And if you let it play out for a few minutes, yeah, because 9:30 was here, came down, swept, let it play out, and then you get in. That's the strat. But there, like I said, there is no holy grail. You're gonna have to look on the hour, 4 hour, all the things every morning, looking at your bias, looking at all the things. We're in this gap still. Looks like, I mean, we're out of the gap. Liquidity is down here. 15-minute chart. We do have a big ass gap up here now that maybe we want to come back into and reverse out of at 9:30. If you're confident in your bias, or not, let's practice. Go to the 3-minute chart. Wait for a change in the state of delivery. Nope, not yet. This is why it's good to wait on the 3-minute, and now we're pushing. And we push. Now we inverted this gap, the 15-minute gap. That might be a trade. This is why I'd like to trade with higher time frame analysis, because just trading like this is scary. Boom, stopped out, loss. So I guess that's why you backtest strategies too for more than 20 trades, because you'll be like, oh my god, this is so good, and you'll backtest it for like 20 more, and you're like, actually, it's not. And I've learned that with like CRT, ICT, silver bullet, anything that's just like super simple, it's gonna work, but not as often as you think, or you'll get a good 2 weeks out of it, and then you'll get 2 weeks without it working. However, let's look on the 15-minute chart. Where was 9:30? Here. So that was what, 10:30 we start to push. I mean, this 9:30 candle was a nice hammer. I like my hammer, the body's smaller, but it's not that terrible of a trade. But again, there was a gap here that I was scared we were gonna, reverse down from. But technically, if you traded just off the candle, you would have gotten. But the thing about this strategy, you don't know when to trade off the candle and when to not trade off the candle, and you still didn't even take out this high. So, is it even worth it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's still a loss either way. Actually, there's no point. Next trading session with this giant gap here made. These gaps are weird because it's technically a red candle, but it's a bullish gap. It jumped up and made the gap. Looks like we're also about to sweep this liquidity here and come out of this big hourly gap as well that we've been trading in for like 3 days. Let's see what that looks like. There also is a gap here in case we want to bounce off that or invert that. Oof. Before, I was really just trading out the 15-minute chart, but obviously you should not. You should not do that. But that's the good thing about backtesting. You can do whatever you want. And if it's wrong, it's just wrong. Boom. Immediately wrong. Immediately stopped out. So, let's see if it goes my way and stop loss is just too tight. Also, as we've noticed, this December price action is just terrible. I think also this is why I traded so good in December last year, because for most beginner traders, we like liquidity to liquidity. So let's see what this looks like on the 1-minute chart. Well, this is some shit that when I used to trade the 1-minute chart, like this is some shit. Where's 9:30? Yeah, like, I mean, this isn't that great either, but trading liquidity to liquidity, this isn't that great on the 1-minute either. But it's very beginner friendly. Consolidations are very beginner friendly, in my opinion. I mean, and gurus trade this too, like that. But yeah, I don't like this price action either. It's really bad. But anyway, well, now we think this strategy does not work as good as it has been working all day. Prime example of why you should stick to your rules. But you shouldn't, I feel like you still shouldn't trade until after 9:45 in general. I do stand on that. I do. Let the first 10, even just the 10 minutes of 9:30 play out. I don't know what we're doing. This charts look crazy. This price action is so bad. They say that though. A lot of people say they don't trade at all in December, which is crazy. I made so much money. I was like flipping my options account in December. But looking at this, I'm like, ooh, do I want to trade in December this year? Are y'all gonna trade in December this year? This is also 2022. This is kind of a while ago. But this price action looks scary. Okay, this is a bearish fair value gap. $15-minute chart. We do have a gap here. Liquidity is here, but I'm sure there's another liquidity at some point, somewhere. There is a nice hammer. Do we enter off of it? Or do we go to the 3-minute and be smart? Hammer. 3-minute fair value gap here. Did we inverse it? We technically did. So it's giving the confirmation. I don't know if you want it. 1 to 2. Let's see if we get it. I don't know, y'all. No, we immediately don't. So the strategy is washed. It's very much washed. So all those lucky trades I had were just washed. And I think that's what people say too about trading and beginner's luck. Like, you'll do a strategy and it'll work like 20 days in a row. Then you have to really sit through all price action. And this is a prime example. And this is why you back test before getting on the charts. Can you imagine if I just got on the chart with this strategy tomorrow? Like, what the fuck? You'd be fucked. I mean, getting at the 15-minute at 9:45 to go down into the fair value gap a little more isn't that bad of a play. Like stop loss below the high. No, I mean, it didn't go 1 and 2, but you don't, the thing about a trade like this, you would never take it because you don't know how far in the gap we would go. We could go in the gap, we could go tip the gap and go up, we could whatever. But yeah, what is this entry? I'm just seeing if you could get in the entry right after the 15-minute 9:30 to 9:45 candle closes. Like, I was seeing if you could just trade off this 9:30 hammer and then get in a buy or sell from it, and you can't. But that's what I was trying to see. As y'all can see, it's not working. It was working for me for a little bit. It was. Prime example of why there's no holy grail like CRT, like just mark at 8 a.m. high or low and wait for a sweep and it'll go to the other side. No, like you have to sit here and do the top-down analysis every day. You have to look at the PE rate. You have to look at the fucking daily profile every day. It sucks. I mean, every trade should have some narrative. No, I agree. We still have narrative. Because most of the time, 9:30 will come, sweep something in reverse. We still have narrative. I never say we don't have narrative, but I'm saying wait out things a little differently. But also, we've seen this December price action is fucking terrible. So, I mean, I don't even know where we would go on this day. I'm just going to mark out, I always do that anyway. I mark out 2 options, top side, bottom side. If we go up, these are the targets. If we go down, these are the targets. And then catch the wave. That's always how I trade. But let's just see. But I'm just saying for 9:30 traders, like, it's just so much better to wait till after 9:45. Like, we already came into this gap. If we close out of it or that, I think you can enter a buy off that trade. Obviously, do what you want. 1 to 2 in the middle of the gap. Again, this is why you back test. Then you realize this shit sucks. Let's go. Boom. Great trade. See, it works sometimes. It works sometimes. It doesn't work all the time, but it works sometimes. But you see, you have analysis. You marked out your higher time frame. We invert this for value gap. You don't just take it. But there's sometimes where the 930 candle is a beautiful fucking candle. But then sometimes like this, you get a beautiful fucking candle, and then we immediately reverse. That's why it's like you shouldn't just go right off the candle. But you see how this was a nice candle. It inverts the value gap by 1 to 2. Boom. Boom. How do you backtest? You download. You make an account at fxreplay.com. And you can practice. And you can pick a random year. I'm on 2022, about to be in 2023. And you can just backtest like this every day. And I do it every day. So I was saying, if there's any strategies y'all want me to backtest, let me know. Because I could do them. Because I feel like we're getting redundant on my strategy. But we'll go back to my strategy tomorrow. But mine is really just like looking at what's going on all time frames, all higher time frames, the hour, the 15, and the 4. We already came into this gap, so I'm sure we're taking out all-time highs tomorrow, but who knows? This was a 15-minute gap. Oh, no, this is an hour gap. So we could, once we invert this gap, buys for shizzle. But yeah. And then you go, I'm gonna start getting a chart though at 9:45 though. I still am, because I feel like here there's been a lot of days where we just been continuing, and I don't need to get in at 9:30 and get faked out, but I'd rather get in 5 to 10 minutes earlier than 10 o'clock, because 10 o'clock was here. I mean, actually, that was actually better. It still came back up to this gap at 10 o'clock. This is Wednesday, though. This is not Friday, sorry. I'm like, that's not what it did on Friday. Friday, we did... that's Thursday. Friday, here we go. 9:45. 10 o'clock was here. So I could have got in up here instead of down here. Or just give me a few more ticks. And it's only 15 minutes to wait for 10 o'clock. 9:30 is too hectic. Why didn't you place orders so you could see what your account will return? Because I don't care. Emotionally, focusing on money messes me up emotionally. And I think that fucks up a lot of people, beginners, emotionally. So I don't care how much money I make. I care about taking good trades. Also, I don't set orders because, we're here to learn how to improve. If you watch Kuitao, whatever his name is, he backtests for so long, and it's actually really funny to watch. But he sets orders, and they're wrong, like, all the time. Like, he just sets the same orders he would take. For me, I don't want to do that. I want to look, and I want to learn. Setting orders and focusing on money is not going to help you. Focusing on money is not going to help you, if that makes sense. Now, if that's what you want to do, you can do it. Also, I'm an impatient trader. I know that, and I know that. People like to act like that's a bad thing. It is, but it isn't. So when I set an order on this website, if it trades sideways, I'll close my trade. But on this website, it has to hit your stop loss or hit your take profit and close your trade. I don't like that. There's plenty of times where we trade sideways. I get off the chart at noon to 1 o'clock. We're still in the trade. I would close my trade. And this app won't let me. It'll just keep running until news takes it out, and that pisses me off. Like, I like to say, this is what will happen, and then we move on. You know what I'm saying? That's me personally. Again, if you have the patience to sit all day, place orders. If you also have the emotional stability to have a set amount of money you need to make every day, then set orders. But for me, I don't need to know. Because I know once I learn the skill, it's going to come. How do you close your trade? Let me know. I'm a 7-figure trader. Not focusing on the money shows you have a lot of work ahead of you. If you say so, a lot of my mentors say don't focus on the money. Just focus on taking good trades. Use good risk management to not blow your account, but I don't care how much money I make. I'm an ICT trader, so I'm setting and forgetting at a liquidity point. It's worked for me so far. So good for you though, 7-figure trader. All right, on the 1 hour chart, we have a gap here. We already kind of swept this liquidity. Again, everyone's different too. So if you like to focus on money, you could do that. We also love when we have an inverse that lines up with the regular. But for me, and a lot of people have told me that. A lot of people have told me that. There aren't seven-figure trader. ICT is not going to give you financial freedom. I mean, I know a bunch of people who trade ICT who are making a lot of money. My friend who put me on trading trades ICT. He didn't start ICT, but now he trades ICT. And he has $1 million house in LA. He bought it at like 21, and we met on set. So, but thank you for the advice. What do you trade though? Actually, I want to know, Tiny, right now. Do you trade like supply and demand, support and resistance? What do you trade? Right, here they go, Tay. Every time we can't get a backtesting session in peace. Especially because it's funny how people who always get mad at ICT when he's have people who are profitable so much faster. Seven-figure trader here. How long did it take you to learn how to trade and get profitable? And also, what do you trade, Tiny Rhino, if you're still in here? I feel like you might have left, but again, I disagree. Focusing on the money is what fucks a lot of people up. Like, you feel like you want to make $1,000 a day, you want to make $200 a day, you're getting greedy, you're looking at your P&L. I didn't say what you trade, I said what strategy do you trade. I didn't say what you trade. I said what strategy do you trade. Most people do trade in QD, yes. Is it supply and demand? Is it support and resistance? What is it? What's your strategy? All right, 9:30. I don't know if we have another liquidity point we can target on the downside. Oh, we do this fat gap. This gigantuan gap here. A lot of gaps in the days in December, I've noticed too. Y'all haven't done this from backtesting today. Like a lot of opening gaps. I don't have enough words to explain. Sure, it's all that. Okay, cool. Well, we trade ICT over here, so if you don't like ICT, you can leave the backtesting session. But also, yeah, I agree. A lot of people say that, like, I'm just saying it took me many years to get profitable. Exactly. And I feel like that's why people always shit on ICT, because a lot of ICT traders, me, myself included, took 6 to 9 months to get profitable. Yes, I have a long way to go. Yes, I said that. I'm impatient. I'm emotional. I know that once I get my emotions down, I'll be fine. I know my flaws. I'm not saying I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow, but I also have a guy who came. I'm not unprofitable. No, I'm not. There's a guy in my comments who said he got 2 payouts in 6 months with ICT. But no, I'm not unprofitable. I just got funded. Not that hard to explain. Oh, so you're asking Tay if he's profitable for you to explain your strategy? It's kind of iffy, my guy. Why did you come for him like that? All you do is say your strategy. That's weird. People who trade for a long time are so weird because they get. Yeah, sorry, people are learning faster. That's a good win for the trading space. It doesn't have to be ICT. People are learning supply and demand faster. So people are learning support and resistance faster. The gurus are just better. People are teaching for free. Y'all don't have to be mad because people aren't taking 5 years anymore. Like, I really don't understand. But I disagree with him, even though he's a millionaire. So take what you will from this guy. If he is a millionaire, who knows? I personally think focusing on money is not ideal in the beginning, because we focus on, I want to make $200. Now if I double it, I can make $400, or if I double it, I can make $1,000. Like, no, just use good risk management. Focus on the trade. Your entries at this fair value gap. Your take profit is at this stop loss or this swing high, and then your stop loss at this swing low, and then just do that over and over again, and you'll win, and the money will come. Like, the money literally will come. What if I told you I don't have a strat? Then how are you don't have a strat? It's crazy. You're a trader and you don't have a strat. That sounds very scammy. But then talk about it. You can send multiple comments. You can explain in multiple comments in the chat what your strategy is. All right, let's go 15-minute chart. But anyway, again, prime example, trade how you want to trade. I'm not knocking anybody. I just don't like when people come in and knock on us because they've made more money than us. Like, chill. We're learning. I never said I wasn't learning. Here's another scam. People will tell you that you must have a stop loss. Don't use a stop loss. I agree and disagree. I've practiced not using stop losses before many times, because sometimes my stop loss will be liquidity swept, and I prefer a full candle close out of my trades, and I am right most of the time, and sometimes my stop loss is just too tight, being scary. So I do agree with that. You don't need a stop loss all the time, but it's also good to have a stop loss. It's never bad to have a stop loss, especially for a lot of us reversal traders. You just need it at the high, because now you know price action, that if it takes off your high of the reversal, we're now in a different market structure. So there's nothing wrong with having a stop loss. So You are just throwing around shit like it's just God's holy grail. It's kind of crazy. Especially if you trade options, you really don't need no damn stop loss. No shade. But if you trade in futures, in Forex, you need a stop loss. So I don't know what you trade, but I would not just say no stop loss. Let's see if we fill this gap. Again, we're just back testing. Boom, great trade. See what I'm saying? Like, it works sometimes, it works and doesn't. How does that improve our planet's future? It does not. I am with you, this guy or person. I'm an anti-capitalist, but until we come together, because people don't, most people are sheep. I can't be poor waiting for everyone to stand up to the government and shit. So I'm gonna do this, but I prefer trading over business because it's just me in the charts. It's not me scamming customers. It's not me doing unsustainable fabrics like when I had a clothing brand. It's not me indulging in hyper consumerism. If you trade options and stocks, it's kind of eating the rich. You're making money off their businesses. So I think it's the most ethical business model for that person. Most people who are successful don't trade ICT. I disagree. A lot of the old heads that you see with Lambos and stuff, yes. But if you're realistically in the trading space, not trading TikTok, the people getting funded the fastest, a lot of prop firms even said that they are, who is it? I think it's My Funded FX and My Funded Futures said ICT traders are the most of its funded traders. Exactly, but you don't have to like ICT though. You can trade what you trade. No one's saying ICT is the holy grail, but you can't be mad at other people who want to try ICT because it's better for them. No one says none of the other things don't work, but I've seen more people who say they got funded or got profitable in months with ICT than any other strategy. I know a lot of people who trade supply and demand, support resistance, all these things, zones, but they tell you, yeah, it took them years, 4 years, 5 years. But then a lot of those guys, AJ Currency just stopped trading ICT, but he's been trading ICT immediately after discovering it. Yarhami, the Muslim guy from England, trades ICT now, and he did it. He learned from Swaggy Fee. Like, it's okay. And then AJ Currency just left ICT. Same with Garland Trades. He stopped trading ICT. Now he trades breakout range, break and retest. Like, it doesn't matter. That's what I don't like about people like that in this space. Like, I'm friends with Gorgeous Trader. Say yes to Jess. They don't trade ICT, and we encourage each other every day. We all trade different. Like, why do men have to come in here and just be like, oh, well, you trade ICT, you suck, like, ooh. Like, please, no one cares. You can trade flipping a coin, and that makes you profitable, fucking do it. Anyway, this trade worked out. Let's go to the next session. It's just so weird to me. I don't like that. Like, I get it. If you don't trade ICT, you can leave the live. There's plenty of unprofitable. Go on Kui Tao's live. He's unprofitable as fuck. He trades ICT. Go shit on him because he clearly needs help. But I'm already profitable, faster than you got profitable. Like, I don't need people in here saying weird stuff, but they always do. At the end of the day, if you make money, don't care what strat you use. Exactly. Especially because when it comes to like the old school strats, I love a trend line, y'all. I know ICT traders be like, trend line this, or I love it. Y'all know I love a trend line and an EMA bad. Go together real bad. EMA and trend lines line up with ICT so well, in my opinion. So do that what you will. But I use like a trend line or a EMA if I'm like scared to get in a trade, ICT trade. But then the EMA or the trend line confirms. I'm like, yeah, get in that hoe. But yeah, do what you want. But at the end of the day, use what you want. And I've said that. If people want me to backtest other strategies, let me know. But don't just come in here shitting on shit. Because you didn't even ask if I'm profitable, and you come in here giving advice. It's like that guy who went up on that girl at Topgolf who literally was a professional golfer, and he was just helping her, giving her golf pointers like she wasn't a professional golfer, just mansplaining. Like, please. Also, I don't understand that either because people never start off good at anything. Look at this. This is an example of when it plays out nice. Oh, I spoke too soon. It did not play out nice. I mean, it did go up to a liquidity point. It went up to Asian. I just marked a higher one. But it did come out of this gap. You could have gotten in right at 9:45 and took it to liquidity. But the thing about, here's the thing. What do you think about QQQ? I mean, this is the NASDAQ futures. Same thing as QQQ. But I don't go into it each week. I'm a reactive trader. I like to go on the chart in the morning and see what's happening because there's so much going on. Like we're in Asian right now. It's giving one of those days where Asian, London, and New York are just gonna go up to the all-time highs. If you want my opinion, I think we're going up to all-time highs. But especially if we invert this gap, that's the only gap we have. 4 hours, there's no gap. 1 hour, there's a gap. We could bounce off the gap and go lower though, but I do feel like we're gonna take out all-time highs because ES took out all-time highs. Yeah, I think people act like ICT is a cult. It is a little crazy. I agree. And anything act all culty is weird. I do hate when people just shit on. I actually hate when people shit on people's strategies in general. I hate when I see people swear like, oh, you trade support and resistance. Like, no. But I do hate when people just come on and shit because 9 times out of 10, it's guys like that who are millionaires, maybe are profitable, maybe whoever. And they took 7 years to learn how to trade, but people are ICT traders were getting it in 2, 3, 6 months, and then it's like, why are you mad at me though? Just find something that clicks for you. That's it. I hate when kids call breakout supply and demand their liquidity. I agree. I honestly think supply and demand is probably a really good strategy as well. It's just for me, I don't understand where you mark the zone because a lot of times when I see zones marked, it gets ran through like liquidity swept or that's the point, but your stop loss is something like different. You know what I'm saying? So to me, liquidity, having my stop loss at swing high, swing low makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? No one just comes out of nowhere and hates. They do though. They do come out of nowhere and hate. Or they say, oh, well, when you start getting haters, you're doing something right. I think that shit's weird, actually. I really do. Are there going to be more of these people when they come? It's even worse. But that's why I'm documenting my journey, which everyone's like, that's so scary. It is scary, but it's not. Because it's like when I actually make money, you can't say I'm a fraud. And because who knows? Especially because a lot of these guys who say they're rich or say they're this, say they're that, they could be frauds. No one fucking knows the internet. That's the scary part. That's literally the scary part. I had a mentor who, I don't think he was a fraud, but he wasn't as good as, he wasn't as rich or like, I don't know. It just wasn't giving. Like, he said he made 10K a day, which he might have, but like, we had the same size apartment in LA. He did have a nicer car than me, but I'm like, if you live in the way you say, if I was making the money you say you making, I would be living, we're living kind of the same. But it is LA. It's a little different than if you're in like Atlanta or something. But at the same time, like, come on, man. You need to explain your strategy knowledge, trading strategy knowledge, and don't focus on one thing. You need to expand your... No, what are you talking about? Again, okay. He said you don't need to explain your trading. You don't need to expand your trading. You need to expand your trading knowledge. You don't need to focus on one thing. That's so wrong for beginners. And that's why I talk the way I talk. I think that's what's making a lot of guys like this mad. I'm a beginner. These strategies I'm doing are for beginners. These are not for people like you who've been trading for 4 years. Yes, when you start trading for 4 years, you can trade almost anything and you can trade all these things. But in the beginning, for a beginner, they need to focus on one thing. If that's just silver bullet, if that's just fair value gap, like they're not going to be able to indulge in all these things. And I think that's why a lot of ICT traders get funded and profitable more faster than this tiny rhino guy, because you focus on one thing, and then as you get more patient, as you make more money, you can expand your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I think you stick to one strategy. When you know too much, you will be confused. Exactly. That's what, like, even that strategy I backtested yesterday, the CRT, like, I didn't like it, but if you just traded that, didn't take trades the day you didn't see it, and only took trades the day you saw it, that's okay. You could make money over that. Just don't take dumb trades when you don't see it. Like, focus on one thing. Like, don't listen to guys like that. They're right in the sense of, yes, in 2-3 years from now, we'll all be... But I don't even think those guys do that. Like Mamba FX and all those guys who every swag you see, all these guys make videos like this trading strategy. And every video they drop is a new trading strategy. Like one's an EMA, one's a flag break, one's a this. But who knows which one they actually trade every day? I feel like they all trade the same one every day, but they're showing you different ones, which is fine as well. Because you might like this strategy I'm showing you today, but someone else in my chat might like the strategy I backtested yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, There's no right or wrong thing to do this, but in the beginning, as a beginner, focus on one thing and don't focus about the money. Do not listen to this guy. He's a millionaire. If he is really a millionaire, like he says he is, he cannot focus. He can focus on the money because he has the patience to sit and watch it go negative 10K and then up 50K. We don't even have the mental capacity to watch it go down fucking $5. That's why it's different for beginners. Like, don't let these guys fool you. Don't let them fool you. I don't know why I thought that was a gap there, and it's not a gap there at all. All right, we're gonna do one more, and then I'm going back to watch TV. This is the gap I wanted. I mean, there is technically, like, I don't know what this is. It's like the wicks. Oh no, it is a gap. I'm dumb. It was a gap. Sorry. What is the fair value gap? 3 candles. I'm like, it's just the gap in these bodies was confusing me. There's a gap here, and it's bearish. So if we invert this, this is, I guess, where we're going. Let's see what 930 brings. This is the 930. Let's see how it, sheesh, it might even go there. Okay, well, it closed, and that's what I like. Sometimes when you're watching this in real time, it looks like, oh shit, I need to get in my trade. And that's why you always wait for a candle close, because this is a nice move. That's a wrong way. That's a nice move. That's a nice candle you can enter off of right off the 15-minute chart. Boom. That's a nice move. No drawdown at all. Boom, you're done. 15-minute day. That's the liquidity. That's the clearest one. So, I know this scares you, but that's why I just get on the chart at 9:40, 9:45. Just get on the chart. Boom. And then obviously, you know, as a smart trader, you go on the 3-minute. And, I mean, this is 9:41. So that was really the trade. Stepping in this fair value gap, but we get on, like I said, 9:45. So yeah, right at 9:45 when the candle closes. Does it give you a little more? It does actually. See, it gives you a bunch. It gives you a whole fuck ton if you want it. Just do a trailing stop after this, or stop loss to break even after this point and go. Most people are course sellers, yes, and like mentorship sellers, which I disagree because, I mean, I get it in the same sense because if you know how to trade, you make $1 million of trading, you'll probably make more money teaching. But it's just, who knows if people actually made that money before they teach. However, mentorships do take up a lot of time. Like, I had a few people book one-on-ones with me this weekend, and I really felt like it took a lot of my time. It was fun. It was fun booking one-on-one sessions with me. But it does take a lot of time. So it's like, eventually, if you're making 10K days, you need to charge people $1,000 an hour because it's an hour out of your day. You know what I'm saying? So I see why people charge a lot, but it's just hard in the internet because you don't know who's right. We asked Rhino to show proof, and he got the chart exactly. A lot of people are just trolls. You can tell. You literally can tell. You fucking can tell. But yeah, getting in at 9:45. That was the strategy we tested. That was it. It wasn't that great, but it's not the worst. I still suggest getting at 9:45 anyway for just regular, you know, top-down analysis, all the things. Because I do think 9:30 candle a lot of the times does sweep some liquidity or something. This day it just ran down. This is 9:33, but on the 15-minute chart. Someone told me to use hybrid charts on one of my videos. They said use the 2-hour and the 6-hour. And like the 10 and like the 2 and like the hybrid charts. I was like, maybe, but I don't see there's another liquidity point somewhere far that we swept down here, but not a bad trade. We'll do one more. One more, just I mean, there is a gap here. It would be nice if it just comes up in there. But we do have a nice liquidity point at a nice distance. Hopefully 9:30 doesn't run on down. We do have a gap here. I'm not going to draw it. This big green gap, if we inverse it, is below this blue line. Bounced out. The gap, though, ends up here. I mean, I might as well just draw it at this point. this gap here. Let's see, going 9:30. Okay, 9:30 is gonna close red, and then boom, there's your entry. We did sweep these lows, but I do think we can go to this liquidity point. It's not that great. It's a 1 to 1.5, and then stopped out. So it's not the best. There was liquidity here. I said that. So we swept this liquidity. We didn't sweep. Oh, we did sweep London to London lows. And tapped into a 15-minute gap here. So this is why you still do analysis. Because if you had analysis, this is probably your entry. That's probably a turtle soup for you. That's why you don't never just blind trade anything. Look at the analysis, and that is a nice trade. And or get on at 9:45 and then go down to the 3-minute chart and wait for a reversal. And not just get in. But yeah, this is working earlier, so this is why you backtest for a long time, because you see it did not work. And this is why I don't just mark up shitty trades. Obviously I did and we lost, but play things out and just learn. Like, honestly, what I do sometimes in the daytime, I set this to like 9:30, 10 o'clock, 9:45, and I just sit and play it out every morning. And just study what the price does every day this morning without even taking a trade. Like, everyone comes in my chats like, oh, send an order. Like, how much money would you make? If you who cares? Because if it's wrong, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter because you don't know how much I'm risking. I can over leverage one day and make $10,000. And that wouldn't help anybody on this live stream. They just focus on taking good trades, because that's really going to make you the money over time. Take good trades. This obviously, the sell one was not a good one. And this is a prime example of why, like I said, like sometimes like just getting in right at 9:15, it could easily just reverse. So having a bias overall will help you. Yeah, but obviously you would just wait for things. I'm a reactionary trader, so I would wait. I wouldn't get in right at 9:45. I would wait and see if we start to move in a direction. 9:45 isn't. Don't want me to do that. Is a macro time, so maybe tomorrow we backtest that like 9:45, inverted value gap. I'm just trying to try simple things. I'm trying to see if there's a holy grail for like simple things you can backtest. So far, we've learned there isn't. There isn't just get on the chart, get on 9:45, wait for inverted value gap, take it to the other side. But we'll try that tomorrow. Let's see if we'll backtest that tomorrow. But for now, it really is, sitting on all higher time frames and then going on a lower time frame. Or I've took trades off of all these time frames before. But I've also taken trades. All of the 3-minute is now my entry time frame. But I would have took a trade off this easily. I think this day I did go on the 3-minute and get in a 3-minute value gap. This day on Friday. But other than that, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. And then hopefully I'll have good trading in the morning. Let's see if we have a good week this week. Let's see if we can get some payouts this week. See y'all tomorrow. Hello.
Not much. Just chilling, about to go get into bed in a little bit. Some call my doing.
Well, I just got off stream. I was just gonna call you too.
You just what?
I just got off stream. I was just gonna call you too.
Oh, okay. Mama, say hey to your baby.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah. Was in old Colorado at the old game, boo.
I feel that. That game was lit.
Yeah, it was lit. It was cool.
They always have close games like that. Right.
Yeah. I thought the son got hurt. We wanted him to play good. But we wanted Dion to win too, so. Yeah. Y'all had a good weekend?
We did. It's been icing my foot and resting.
Okay, how your foot looking? Pretty good?
It is, yeah. It's still blue, but its swelling came down a lot.
Okay, good, man. Glad to hear that. Yeah. We say hi then.
I'm going